Wisdom, the final frontier to true knowledge. Welcome to Wisdom Trek, where our mission is to create a legacy of wisdom, to seek out discernment and insights, to boldly grow where few have chosen to grow before. Hello, my friend. I am Guthrie Chamberlain, your captain on our journey to increase wisdom and create a living legacy. Thank you for joining us today as we explore wisdom on our second millennium podcast. This is day 1339 of our trek, and it is time for Meditation Monday. Taking time to relax, refocus, and reprioritize our lives is crucial in order to create a living legacy. For you, it may be just a time alone for quiet reflection, or you may utilize some sort of structured meditation practices. In my life, meditation includes reading and reflecting on God's Word and in prayer. It is a time to renew my mind, refocus on what is most important, and making sure that I am nurturing my soul, mind, and body. As you come along with me on our trek each Meditation Monday, it is my hope and prayer that you too will experience a time of reflection and renewing of your mind. Let me ask you, how much faith is enough to live a righteous life? It may surprise you. A very tiny amount is needed. So today, let's consider moving mountains. We all have faith in our lives, even when we do not recognize that we do. When was the last time that you thought about whether your favorite chair would hold you when you sat in it? When was the last time, when going to bed, that you wondered if it would collapse? Probably a very long time, if ever. How much faith do you need to sit in your chair or when you lie down in your bed? I would venture to say, very little faith. Why is that? It is because that you are familiar with your chair and bed, and based on the many days or nights of trusting them, you are confident that they would support you. Our faith in God should be no different. It takes practically no faith to both believe and to trust in God, or to trust that Jesus Christ is our substitution for falling short of God's righteous requirements. Let me read you a story about faith. It takes place immediately following what is referred to as the Transfiguration, where Peter, James, and John had the ultimate mountaintop experience. They had just witnessed the glorified Jesus speaking to Moses and Elijah. Then they came back to reality. Matthew chapter 17, verses 14 through 20. At the foot of the mountain, a large crowd was waiting for them. A man came and knelt before Jesus and said, "Lord, have mercy on my son. He suffers seizures and suffers terribly. He often falls in the fire or in the water. So I brought him to the disciples, and they couldn't heal him." Jesus said, "You faithless and corrupt people, how long must I be with you? How long must I put up with you? Bring the boy here to me." Then Jesus rebuked the demon in the boy, and it left. From that moment, the boy was well. Afterward, the disciples asked him privately, "Why couldn't we cast out that demon?" "You don't have enough faith," Jesus told them. "I tell you the truth, if you had faith even as small as a mustard seed, you could say to this mountain, 'Move from here to there,' and it would move. Nothing would be impossible." Do you have faith to move mountains? Mountains are huge, and we are pretty small in comparison. Besides that, we are emotional and fickle creatures. Our faith ebbs and flows on a daily basis. Sometimes we feel strong in our faith, other times we have next to none. Let me tell you, though, here's the good news. It is not up to our faith to move mountains, because we have nothing to do with it. Only God does. Only God is in the mountain-moving business. Since we were created as imagers of God, we tend to usurp that which can only come from God. We may feel that it is up to us to muster up enough faith to make something happen. But it's not about muster, it's about mustard, as in something as small as a mustard seed. In other words, barely visible. Jesus said in the passage I just read that nothing is impossible for the person who has a faith the size of a tiny mustard seed. Instead of concentrating on the strength of our faith, we must focus on the object of our faith, which is Jesus Christ. A parallel passage to the one I read gives another detail, and this is found in Mark chapter 9, verses 21 through 24. And let me read it to you. "How long has this been happening?" Jesus asked the boy's father. He replied, since he was a little boy. The Spirit often throws him into the fire or into water, trying to kill him. Have mercy on us and help us if you can." "What do you mean, if I can?" Jesus asked. "Anything is possible if a person believes." The father instantly cried out, "I do believe, but help me overcome my unbelief." Now I have another question I want to ask you today. Was this boy healed because of the quantity of the father's faith? No, the father had very little faith. In fact, he cried out, "Help me overcome my unbelief." The father lacked the needed faith. What little faith the father did have, he placed in the right person. God's power can help our little bit of faith to accomplish great things through us. He just wants us to trust. As we learn of Him, our faith will grow. But another question we must ponder: where can this seed of faith be found? Well, the answer is in God's Word. Romans chapter 10, verse 17. So faith comes from hearing, that is, hearing the good news about Christ. And just as you trust your favorite chair on bed to support you without even thinking about it, the more we put our faith in the good news about Christ, the more it will become part of the very fabric of our daily lives. And that's a wrap for today's meditation. Next week, we will continue our trek on Meditation Monday as we take time to reflect on what is most important in creating our living legacy. On tomorrow's trek, we will explore another wisdom quote. This 3-minute wisdom supplement will assist you on becoming healthy, wealthy, and wise each day. Thank you for joining me for this trek that we call life. And encourage your friends and family to join us, and then come along with us tomorrow for another day of Wisdom Trek, creating a legacy. If you'd like to listen to any of the past 1,338 daily treks or read the Wisdom Journal, they are all available at wisdom-trek.com. And I encourage you to subscribe to Wisdom Trek on your favorite podcast player so that each day will be downloaded to you automatically. And thank you so much for allowing me to be your guide, your mentor, but most importantly, I am your friend as I serve you through the Wisdom Trek podcast and journal each day. And as we take this trek of life together, let us always live abundantly, love unconditionally, listen intentionally, learn continuously, lend to others generously, lead with integrity, and then leave a living legacy each day. I am Guthrie Chamberlain, reminding you to keep moving forward. Enjoy your journey, and then create a great day every day. See you tomorrow.